Hi everyone, welcome back to What Ginny Reads. This is me, Shweta, with Ginny and Poulomi. Hi, Poulomi.
Hi, everyone. Always
All
glad
right,
to be back, yeah, with a new book.
yeah. So before we begin, and I asked Poulomi which book has she brought today. Just know that you can reach What Ginny Reads, all the streams that we've done by just going to our website, Ginnysplanet.com. You'll see the video on the homepage only to reach all the series if you want to. And of course, you can check out blog posts also on some of the books. So, Poulomi, welcome back. And Which book have you brought today and why? Very curious to know.
Okay. So I think if people remember, last time we actually started speaking about books which are folk tales, right? So continuing with that trend, we bring something, and also speaking of a different land, a different place, is this book. It's a lovely book with beautiful illustrations, published by Tulika, written by Chewang Dorjee Bhutia, called The Cloud Eater. Um, And with this book, we are going to travel to Tibet. All right. So it's actually a Tibetan folk tale which is written, and it tells the story of this little girl called Phumtokchen. Now, Phumtokchen in Tibetan reads giant girl. So here was this little girl who had, like, you can say, who was like big, and she could eat up clouds and almost could eat up anything, and was very strong and playful, till of course the time the villagers found out it's like a menace, right? It's like she's landing on anywhere and she's doing this, doing that, etc., etc. So there is a little bit of backlash with her powers that she faced, and it's only, something happens in the village and she comes as a rescue person, using those same powers which once the villagers really, despised, uh, is what the story is all about. It's a lovely folk tale, and also tells many things about you know using what we have responsibly, and also coming to terms with what we have, right? And connecting with everyone with that, and not just showing off that, this is who I am, and everybody should come and be friends with me just because who I am. So I think it's a very lovely tale and very funnily told. I think children like it, of course. And we all know, because Tibet, being at the high altitude, has a lot of clouds, and everything happens around the hills and the clouds. So it's a very nice book, a lovely tale, and a folk tale.
Lovely. So in this, when you read it with your daughter, is there any
Mm.
particular place which is really favorite for her and you?
Um, yeah, I think the whole book, because it's like a very continuous, and that's the interesting part about folktale, na. But I think for her, the favorite part is, so she was a cloud eater, right? She could eat up clouds, and every cloud used to appear to her in a particular shape, right? Shape of an elephant. So it's like I am eating an elephant. So she always used to tell that I'm not eating the cloud, I'm eating this elephant, or I'm eating this rhino, or I'm eating this. I think that is an enjoyable part. Like, if you see that she could even, like, this part, right? So the cloud is almost like, of course, the mythical Tibetan dragon. Like, I'm even blowing that dragon, I'm creating it, I'm eating it part. And my daughter, and almost all children at this age, they also see many shapes and figures in the cloud. So I think this is like a very interesting power, superpower, that they suddenly see that, what, you can eat clouds also, because they look nice, they are soft, they are fluffy, they are of many shapes, but they are far away. So someone who has like this great power of like gulping them, and also, pumping them out, is extremely enjoyable. So that's pretty much what it is.
Right. And clouds, I mean, from perspective of children and also I think also adults, if we remain with that mysticism, are really interesting. Like when I was a child, I would really wonder, can I really walk on clouds? The way
Yeah,
you see in
yeah, yeah,
stories,
yeah, yeah,
in
yeah,
creating shapes and
absolutely.
stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, right. So, no, and also I think one another part is that suddenly you also get to know about this land, Tibet, right, where the villages are basically hills, right, and people come down of the hilltops, and then there is another village. So suddenly the landscape topography is also very intriguing. That what is happening? Why are people, like, here we are playing in parks, and there people are, like, tumbling down of hills and rolling onto another hill, and that is a playground. So I think those are also very interesting topics. And that's what I think folk tales or tales about particular region or community also opens you up to different realities. And I think that's precisely why it is a very, very enjoyable book in the first place. And at the same point in time, illustrations, and you get to know, of course, about Tibetan culture. And once they will grow older, they will definitely understand the entire politics also behind Tibet and what
Hmm.
happened and stuff
Hmm.
like
Right.
that. Right, yeah.
So it's a great book in a way then to introduce Tibet to people
Mm.
in different ways. And of course, clouds and
Yeah,
stories and mysticism and everything. So thank you, Paulomi, for bringing this book. And we look forward to what you bring next in What Ginny Reads. Bye,
sure.
everyone. Do check
Look
out this
forward.
book.
Thank you. Bye. See you next week.